And I'm here with Sammy Cain. His real name is Corey Sampson. He's a hip hop artist from Gulfport, Mississippi. Man, I got a lot of love for that area. I used to live in Biloxi. You know,
Okay.
man, you are a credible, like, hip hop artist. But I want to talk to you, like, first, like, what was it like growing up in Mississippi?
Man, Mississippi is cool, man. It's not too slow, it's not too fast. It's just a
Especially
nice
like the
laid
Gulf
back
Coast.
vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, the Gulf
Yeah, yeah,
Coast.
exactly.
The Gulf Coast is that's I feel like if you're gonna live in any part of Mississippi, you want to be in the Gulf Coast. You don't want to be in the Delta.
Yeah, that's right. That's a whole different world up there, man. But it's different when people come down here and they see the casinos and the lights and everything. They're like, man, we had no idea Mississippi was like this. So yeah, it's real cool down here, man. I had a good time coming up on the Gulf Coast, man, Mississippi.
What was like, your influences like, growing up? Because I feel like, as a like Southern artist, I was surprised to see like, that you like have an appreciation for LL Cool J in like a past interview when I was researching for the interview. And
Yeah.
like it seems like, that there's a lot of like regional bias, like, from artists, and can you kind of speak to that?
Man, be honest, man, if it wasn't for LL Cool J, man, I probably wouldn't even started rapping, man. That's like one of my goats and in my top
Yeah, yeah.
five. But
Yeah, he's
yeah,
nice.
man, just coming up, man, because I grew up. I moved from Colorado to Mississippi. So in
Okay.
Colorado, LL Cool J and like Run DMC, them that's some of the first hip hop guys we ever heard of. You know what I'm saying? So
What age were you like did you move from Colorado to Mississippi?
I was 13. I was
Okay.
13 when I moved to Mississippi, and my brother kind of had all the crates with all the tapes and everything in it, man. So he kind of introduced me to the music, and LL was one of the guys I lingered to, just the style and everything, the flow, just hardcore, man. And then finally, when I got down south, man, I kind of put a lot of my friends on to things they haven't heard of, because I guess back then it was I guess it was more it was like Two Live Crew and a whole lot of other things that was going on, and of course he had New Orleans Bounce that had a big influence on the region I'm in the area. But yeah, L man, I've always been an East Coast fan also, so I just lingered to it, man. The lyrics and the wordplay captured me.
Definitely. When did you start making music?
Well, I've been rapping since I was writing when I was 13, just trying to just really just write. You know, no actual format. But I just write lyrics and try to emulate some of my favorite rappers. And finally, I was starting to catch on to my flow as I got older. But man, just seriously, when I graduated high school, and I went on to Southern Mississippi, and I linked up with some cats, man, and that's all we did, man. We used to walk to the studio. We finally recorded our first single. We actually got some airplay down there in Hattiesburg on I think it was 92.5 or something like that. We finally got our first single. That was like around 97.
Man, what's like, the grind like being in the South? I've kind of like witnessed it a little bit, like when I lived down there, I remember like, like how big Boosie was. Like that was like, the first time like I had ever heard of like, Boosie, and like, I was like listening to a lot of his mixtapes, and like, then like, he became a national name. And like, it seems though like the grind is a little bit different than like, in other places, because it's not like, necessarily a music hub. So how would you say like, it is being an independent artist from Mississippi?
It is a gift and a curse, because we don't depend on the major labels. I mean, even though it's good to have the major label backing, but being that we're independent, the grind is a whole lot harder. You know what I'm saying? It's more hands on. It's more us being out in the streets trying to get our name out there, going city to city, actually meeting people. So it's a hands on experience, other than just a label throwing you out there and they putting your posters up and doing all your promo for you. When you actually got to get out here and meet your audience, man, and they connect with you, and you grow and you learn who listen to your music. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't trade it. I mean, but it'd be nice to have some label backing. But man, this independent life, man, if you making moves and you out here and you got time to travel, man, it's nothing like it, man. It's nothing like it. I wouldn't trade it, man.
Why did you decide, like, you kind of spoke to it, but like, have your own independent label, Blue House Records? How did that come about?
Well, actually, man, it's funny how it came about. Because I was with another label named Darkroom Entertainment, and it kind of dissipated. So we started out with the in-house studio. We start collecting our own equipment, and they always ask where the Blue House comes from. It actually comes from the house that we first started recording in. It was just a Blue House. So we said, "Hey, we're gonna be Blue House Records, man," and we kind of start growing from there. Names start getting bigger and bigger, and we had a setback because right when we was hitting our stride, man, it's like Hurricane Katrina came and hit and kind of uh, 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 relocated a lot of my artists. You know what I'm saying? And some of them left and came back, and some of them never came back at all. So it's like starting all over again, man. So this our second wave, man. So we trying to keep it going, man.
Yeah, I was listening to your music before I came, and I was listening to, like, The Coast is Clear, man. I really enjoyed your music. Can you tell people, like, some songs like you would recommend them to check out?
Okay, absolutely, man. I appreciate you taking some time to listen, man. Yeah, that was we got some new material out, man. We got just dropped one with my artist Dog Dirty is featuring another artist from Hattiesburg named Gator. It's called This World, man. I think it's a real hitter, man. I think it's a little different from what's out today.
Okay.
Definitely has a message to it. So This World, I got a song out right now, produced by Diamond Eyes, another local in-house producer we have, and it's called To the Death of Me, and that's been doing some good numbers, man. It's been pretty hot lately, and then I got another feature, and I think it's a real banger. It's called Hot Hot. That's featuring one of our female artists, B Trilla. That was been a that's been a real hit, man. It's a real club banger. So those are just three to name a few, man. But we got so much music, man. We got so much in store for 24, man. A lot of big ideas.
Yeah, I was listening to your songs and I was like really impressed, like your ability as an MC, and I feel like it's very unique. You have a very unique style. Like what do you think it is like, stopping you from being a national name?
Man, I guess it's kind of hard to pinpoint, but it's so much music out here right now, and it's saturated. You got to have a great marketing plan, and right now we're just touching on bases and building that and doing different things with our music to get it out there. So at first, we everything was hands on, feet to ground, trying to get our music out that way. So now we're trying to tap into some of this social media stuff like that, man. But I really think it's the marketing that is holding us back right now. But we got some good ideas, and I got a great marketing team that's really been pushing these singles, and the results have been really good. So hopefully that all that hard work will pay off.
Man, yeah, Sammy Cain, man, you make some incredible music. I recommend everybody to check it out. There's a, like, stigma that artists from the South can't rhyme. I think that's totally untrue. Some of my favorite, like, artists have been from the South. We could talk about Scarface, CeeLo, Little Flip, a host of, like, great MCs from the South. Why do you think that stigma, like, exists, especially, like, that artists from the South aren't as lyrical as, like, people from the East Coast?
Um, that's kind of hard to pinpoint. My favorite rapper of all time is Scarface. So when
Yeah.
when they say things like that, I just think it's kind of a bias because of how the South entered the game and kind of really just wasn't looking for that cosign from anybody else. We kind of do our own thing down here. I mean, you might the music in my region, Gulfport, Mississippi, it might not be the same as New Orleans music. You know what I'm saying? But we adapt each other and we embrace each other. So when they say that it's not lyricism down here, we probably don't just make music for with a deep dialogue, but it's very relatable and the wordplay is there. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is take the time to listen and try to get out that box because it's going to be a different sound and it's going to be different what you get from the East Coast, West Coast, or Midwest. We definitely got our own swag down here, man. That's going to be every state and every region you go to. It's going to be different.
Yeah, it was hard, man. Like, it put me in the mood of, like, I used to listen to Young Buck, and I kind of, like, I feel like if you like Young Buck, what I mean, like, they would enjoy you. Um, what's next for you?
Man, I'm glad you said Young Buck, but that's one of my favorite artists, man. I think Young Buck got one of the best deliveries in the game, man, to be
He
honest with
was
you, man.
he was early on, man. Like, he was so incredible, man. Like I kind of got like the same vibe. I think, like, a lot of people, I feel like you're really underrated. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like honored kind of like, to be the first person to interview you. Your music is really dope.
Man, I appreciate that, man. And I got a lot of things in the work, man. I'm tapping into these videos, man. I'm getting my clothing brand going. And it's finally got everything situated with that, and I'm about to push that really good, man. And one thing that I'm really gonna start off to start the year out is gonna be our podcast. It's gonna be Put Your House on It podcast. So be looking for that, man. That's just gonna be some dialect, just a regular talking, man. Trying to get some hood politics going, trying to touch base with that. We're gonna have some artists come in and drop some freestyles on it. So that's kind of the things I'm working on now, man. It's more on the business end now, and I will have a few projects dropping here and there, and I got a couple of artists that's going to be dropping when the year starts. But yeah, I'm really on the business end now, man. Trying to make Mississippi, put it on the map even further than what it is, man. That's the main goal.
Definitely. Where can people follow you on social media?
Man, they can follow me. I'm on IG. I'm on s.cain228. That's my IG. And everything else is Blue House Music. So that'll
Definitely.
be Facebook, and we also got a Blue House Music IG. So yeah,
Anybody,
s.cain228.
anybody you want to shout out?
Man, I just want to shout out my team, man. They work hard, man, and they've been patient and they've been working with me, man. I definitely appreciate you for taking the time out to speak with me, man. That means a lot, man. That means a
Definitely,
lot.
man. I appreciate you, man. Your grind, man, is not unnoticed, man. Like, people like, need to pay attention, check out your catalog of music. Like, man, you're a dope artist, bro. I appreciate you.
Man, I appreciate it, man. Anytime, man. Anytime you want to chop it up, man, let's do it.
So definitely. Have a great one.
Absolutely.